Well, good thing you have us, John. Hello and welcome to this special bowl game edition of DITV's pregame show. I'm your host, Beau Bowman, alongside Lucy Rohden.
Yeah, Iowa will take on Mississippi State in the 33rd Outback Bowl in January. It's Iowa's third time participating in the Outback Bowl in the last 6 years.
And while the Hawks may be familiar with the bowl game itself, it's pretty unfamiliar with Mississippi State. They've never played the Bulldogs, but they've got a lot to catch up on.
They have one of the best defenses in the country, leading the nation with only 12 points allowed per game.
And their offense has been efficient too. They've got a dual threat quarterback in Nick Fitzgerald. He's the team's leading rusher with over 1,000 rushing yards on the season.
But he struggled a little bit in the passing game, only a 52% completion percentage and 1,600 yards, compared to Iowa's Nate Stanley, who has Fitzgerald beat by about 1,000 yards on the year.
So definitely a run-first type of offense, which should work in Iowa's favor with that huge defensive front we have, and the linebackers been playing pretty well all this season too. But here's what the team had to say about what they need to do to stop Fitzgerald.
Looks like they're an outstanding defensive football team. I know they've got a really good quarterback. Sounds like a guy who's a very strong leader.
Their quarterback's kind of the engine of their offense. He's their leading rusher with over 1,000 yards rushing, and it's going to be a big challenge for us defensively. So.
Now, as we all know, the Outback Bowl, sponsored by Outback Steakhouse. Each year, the bowl assigns one team to one of their two famous appetizers, the coconut shrimp or the bloomin' onion.
And we asked the Hawks which one they'd prefer.
I don't know. I like both of them, but I'll probably go with bloomin' onion. So.
Coconut shrimp. That's I've been to Outback. There's one in Cedar Rapids. That's probably what my go-to for an appetizer. So it's pretty good.
I mean, more so bloomin' onion, but not a huge shrimp fan. So
Coconut shrimp. I'm allergic to onion, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably bloomin' onion. That's just what I've had more of, probably. Pretty good.
Great explanation by Parker Hesse there. Really dug deep into the conversation. But personally, I'm a bloomin' onion guy.
No, I'm the same. I was pretty upset when I found out Iowa was coconut shrimp.
Every year it seems like coconut shrimp.
It's just not fair.
It's not.
Nobody wants a shrimp.
No.
Except for Jake DeRoss.
The Outback Bowl is just around the corner, and the football team is gearing up for football in paradise. What about Hawkeyes on campus? DITV's Declan Levy hit the streets to find out what students are predicting for the Outback Bowl.
I'm standing outside the Hawk Shop in the IMU to get a grasp on what Hawkeye students think is going to happen in the bowl game. Haley, Iowa taking on Mississippi State in the Outback Bowl in Florida. Who do you think is going to win?
Iowa, of course.
Why is that? Noah Fant, he's not going to be playing. He's getting ready for the NFL draft. Are they going to have to be running it down Mississippi State's throat, or are they going to be relying on Nate Stanley?
I feel like we're going to rely on Nate Stanley. I feel like we've pretty much counted on him the whole year, so I think he'll pull through. 2
8-4 teams going up against each other in the Outback Bowl. Big Ten team and an SEC team. Who's coming out on top?
I'm going to have to go with the Hawks. Mississippi State's definitely a formidable team. 4 losses in the SEC is definitely something to be proud of, but Hawks have been in almost every game they've lost. But I kind of like what we're doing. I think we're pretty tough in the trenches, and I think we're going to come out on top.
Who would win in a fight, a Bulldog or a Hawkeye?
A Hawkeye.
A Hawkeye.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That's no question,
Yeah.
okay? The Bulldog's sleeping like he's defenseless. The Hawkeye just dives in and pecks at him,
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like just a full-on brawl in the moment. We're talking about a long, drawn-out war of attrition here, and the Hawkeye's got the advantage because it can just perch on a tree, yeah.
John, thank you for the most entertaining interview of the day.
Oh, boy.
A lot of interesting takes to be had by the students on the University of Iowa campus. I personally think the Hawks are going to take it 17-14. We'll find out later. Reporting from the IMU, this is Declan Levy for DITV Sports.
Okay, now before we sign off, really quickly, Lucy, your prediction for the game.
Unlike that last kid, I'm picking Iowa because my family's in town and the Hawks seem to win when the Rohdens are watching.
I'm the same. I'm going with the Hawks. Hawks by 1,000,000. That's it for this edition of the DITV pregame show and a wrap for the season. So we'll be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the whole shebang, leading up to the bowl game for the best coverage in Hawkeye sports. Guys at the desk, back to you.